All right, so the last question I wanted to ask you, always ask you, and I love your answer to it, so it doesn't get tiring for me to ask it. And I think it's really important because to the extent that these investments buyers and sellers are making are some of the biggest financial investments they'll ever make in their life. And moving isn't necessarily fun. So it's one of those it's one of those activities that comes with a lot of stuff, stress, if you will. But is it a good time to buy, Doug?
Well, the answer is always the same. If you have a family budget, which you should, then if at today's interest rates, looking at the property that you want to buy and the size of mortgage that you have to take, if it works in your family budget, then it's the right time to make the decision. If you're betting on where interest rates are going to go, then you've turned yourself into a speculator, and whether you can be a speculator or not is a discussion about how much risk you want to take on. So, if you're buying a house to live in it, which is if you're not an investor, if you're buying a house you plan to live in, that's kind of how I would approach the issue.
I love your answer for a couple of reasons. First of all, it fits perfectly with our program, Personal Professional Best. A component of it is personal finance, and that is to start out with, making sure you know where your money's going in life, right? Have a budget. So the fact that you reaffirm that all the time, I really appreciate you doing that. The second part of it is it simplifies what can be a really emotional process in terms of the idea of maybe multiple bidders on a house, or you're receiving a contract to sell the home that you're currently in, and the emotions that go into that process can sometimes be distracting for people who don't do this all the time. So keeping it simple, get a budget. If it fits and you want to live in the home, then it's a good time to buy. We really appreciate that that advice that you give all the time. So basically, just wrapping up overall, if folks are in the audience today, they shouldn't worry about things they don't have any control over. Right, that drives up our cortisol. Go take a run, drive down your cortisol. If you were with us last month, we had a program on stress, anxiety, and worry. So don't worry about U.S. And China trade deals. Don't worry about inverted yield curves. Let Doug worry about those things, okay?